It's me, Breanna, and you are listening to That Time We Got Reincarnated as an Anime Podcast, episode 4. You can find us on youtube.com/SaveTheGameMedia and podcast services. If you want to show Save the Game Media some extra love and get early access to all of our content, you can find us at patreon.com/SaveTheGameMedia. Today, I am joined by my co-host and friend, Kyle. Before we get started, Kyle, how are you today?
I'm good. Watched a lot of things today. Played some soccer. Tired. Wearing my railgun T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon in the Discord was talking about it, and I was already wearing it, so I was like, oh, this is ironic. I'm a huge fanboy of that. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How are you?
Okay. Doing pretty good. Nothing too crazy. I've been my work is paying for me to learn how to do like more complex things with Google Sheets. And I've been kind of geeking out about that. I don't know why I get so excited about it, but today I learned about what functions was it? Oh, how to properly like use the sort and filter function and then like use them in conjunction with each other. And I was like so thrilled. I was like, oh my God. I was like, anyways, I've been freaking out about it because I'm loving it. So
you know what EVE Online is?
I do.
I don't know if you remember this, but they one year had a presentation like E3 or something,
Mm-hmm.
or some conference where their whole presentation was like, we've partnered with Microsoft Excel to be able to give you the power to do your EVE Online spreadsheets more efficiently. And I was just like, that is the nerdiest thing I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm. We've gone too far, you guys. We have gone too far.
So, but
yeah,
people like spreadsheets.
That's true. People do like spreadsheets. I like spreadsheets. So
I'm indifferent to spreadsheets.
Listen, there's just although I do not want to do programming as a job, I do like computer science logic and like programming logic, and it kind of like scratches that itch just a little bit. So yeah, that's why I think I like it. And plus there's math involved and I really love math. I'm a geek for math.
Oh, I love math. Math's great.
Math is so great. And people who say otherwise are crazy.
This is now a pro math podcast.
It is. Because the thing is what I love so much about math is it's like there's no questions about it. Like as far as like most of the math that you're doing. I'm not talking about like the crazy math. But like most math, it's just like there's a rule, you do it. And that's it.
Did you
I love
this
it.
Is completely off topic. But
okay.
Did you do the math puzzles in Stellar Blade?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think, well, so I've only had 2 so far. I don't know if there's a third or not.
There's only 2.
Oh, bummer. I really wanted there to be more.
But Kevin, when he got to the one, he's like, do you remember what the answer is? And I'm like 5005.
The second one was really hard.
Yeah, you had to square it and then
no, it was multiplication and division. That's all the second one was.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but anyways, I beat that game a week ago, so not a week ago.
Yeah, I still haven't. That's okay.
Anyways, you wanna get into it?
Yeah. What have we been watching? I actually have my iPad today. You'll be so proud of me, so that I know what I'm watching.
All right, I'm gonna need you to go first. I have a bit of a rant.
Oh no. Okay. So I will go over. To be frank, I've only been watching stuff that's from like this season for anime.
Yeah, but did you watch Dangers in My Heart? I need to get the weekly update.
Is that this season?
I just needed the weekly update.
Is that this season, Kyle?
I knew the answer. I just wanted the weekly update.
No, I did not watch it.
Yeah, continue. This season.
So I'm still watching Tadaima Kairi. I watched episode 3. It was cute. Episode 4 is out. I've not watched it. Windbreaker, I've seen 3 episodes, which I think is the same amount that I saw last week. But I'm still watching that. I will be continuing to watch that. I'm still watching A Condition Called Love. I'm in the 3/4 of the way through the 4th episode. There's 5 out total.
Is Windbreakers, would you describe Windbreakers as like the male equivalent of cute girls doing cute things? It's just tough boys doing tough things.
You know what? I think you're onto something here.
I'm just
Because
saying.
really, it's that's all it is. It's just dudes beating each other up.
Just dudes being dudes, doing dude
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. No, that is dude things. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
shout out
no.
Windbreakers.
Yeah. Cute dudes doing
Violent things.
chaotic things. Yeah, violent things. There we go. There we go. New genre unlocked. Next, I've been watching, which you guys, this is a recent addition. I didn't think I was going to watch this, but I'm actually kind of obsessed. Vampire Dormitory. It is.
What is this one?
Okay, so this one is Ouran High School Host Club, but vampires.
Is this the cross-dressing one? Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this dude thinks this other person is a dude because he's scared of women. And he can't drink the blood of women because women are gross and whatever. So he thinks this person's a dude. And okay, there's this one scene, Kyle. I just need you to see this one scene. I'll have to find it. I think it's at the very end of the 1st episode. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in anime. I was cry laughing, and it's not supposed to be funny, to be very clear, but it was such I can just tell you about it if you want, if you don't want to watch the episode. But man, it was like such a bizarre thing. The funny thing.
I'm sure there's like a clip or a gif of it or something.
There probably is. Let me try Googling. Hold on.
So,
okay.
But anyways, you watched only one episode, a few episodes?
I've seen 2 so far. I'm pretty sure unless something crazy happens, I'll still keep watching it. I love Ouran. It's not as good as Ouran so far, but the characters are well drawn. I think it's a fun story. I think that I don't know. I think it's really good. I'm enjoying it. Okay, I just Googled it. There is not a clip. So I'll just tell you. So this character, right? So everybody thinks she's a boy, right? She is purposefully dressing as a boy because she's like, life is just easier as a boy, so she doesn't have to turn to prostitution to make a living or whatever, right?
Oh,
it's just easier if you're like,
okay.
Yeah, right. It's just easier if you're like perceived as a boy, which is true. But the whole point being that she's like so she's very feminine, right? Well, okay, so she's like, oh, I'm gonna shower or whatever. She goes into the bathroom, closes the door, locks the door to shower. I'm not kidding you, Kyle. Okay, she takes off.
She takes off her clothes?
She takes off her hair.
Oh, she takes off her hair?
And it's like a whole, it's like almost a helmet. And she just goes, boop. And like this long hair falls out.
This is the funny thing that she wore a wig cap.
But it was like a whole helmet. It was, the animation is so terrible, and the funniest part is that her natural hair color is the exact same hair color as the other hair.
So she could have just cut her hair. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you found this so funny. I don't quite get it.
The wig is so bad. It's so funny because it's like, I did really think it's funny, but it's just so funny to me because I'm like, there's no way. She has so much hair, Kyle. I'm telling you, she has so much hair. There's no way that it's under that wig without some sort of like wig cap, like holding all that hair down. Nothing. Just takes it off. It's so funny. Anyways, really good so far. Enjoying it.
I'm glad.
What else? I have a bunch of other stuff in my list that I haven't had the time to check out yet. I will say I watched like more anime than I normally do this week, but haven't seen let's see. I think that's everything that I saw this last week. But I did watch anime, so I am proud of myself.
Cool.
There we are. So now I shall pass off the torch to you so you can go on your rant.
All right, well, I'll hold on to the rant for a sec.
Okay.
My Hero Academia season 7 started today.
Finally started?
Finally started. I got through those 4 recap filler episodes that nobody needed. I'm sorry, if you can't remember what happened in the previous season, it's because you have a memory problem.
Yeah, I mean, I understand like one recap episode. 4?
Yeah, like I've
That
never
feels like a
needed
lot.
4 recap episodes. Anyways, um, it started good. I enjoyed the episode. It it definitely, I'm hoping, keeps this momentum. I'm afraid it's gonna fall off a cliff, but I enjoyed the first episode.
Okay.
So nothing but positives so far. I've been a little down on it in some parts, but it's been going well since like the second half of last season, I think.
Okay.
Um, then, I've still been watching a lot of the other stuff I was watching. On your recommendation,
Oh
this
God.
isn't going to be
Yep.
my rant. This isn't going
Okay.
to be my rant.
Okay. I was about to
But
say we're
on
about to have a fight instead
no,
of a rant.
no, but on your recommendation, I did check out Kaiju number 8.
You're one episode ahead of me now.
Yeah, yeah, I watched 4 episodes. I gave my thoughts in the Discord after 3 episodes, and I still stand by a lot of that. I don't think the like main character is that like interesting,
Kafka?
or yeah,
I like Kafka.
or likable. I have a hard time liking him as a character. He's kind of annoying to me.
I don't
But
find him annoying, but
um but I will say, his transformation is cool.
okay, the end of the first episode, that like, do you remember what I said? I was like, there's gonna be a scene
Oh yeah, that was weird.
where the end, oh my God, I think it's so cool. I think it's so cool, like that, like backlit where he's like the window in the hospital and he looks so glowy and oh, I was freaking out.
I think Ichikawa and Kukaru, is that her name?
I can't remember her name.
Anyways, I think the other 2 main characters, because it's like 3 main characters for the series, is what
Mm-hmm.
Wikipedia told me. I think they are infinitely more interesting characters so far, and I like everything with them so far. And I do enjoy Kafka and Ishikawa's interactions. How he's like protecting his secret. He's like, senpai. I think their dynamic is cool. But I don't know. I don't I just don't think
Okay,
it's very good,
okay, that's
is the
not true.
thing.
That's
Um
not true.
it's like, I don't think the writing is that good so far. I don't think the story is that good so far. It kind of is just like, hey, this loser at 32 or whatever, how old he is, cleans up poop and then he gets powers, and he still kind of sucks, but sometimes he doesn't suck.
Well, so I would say one of my favorite things about Kafka, not one of my favorite things, one of the things that I enjoy about Kafka is that he's an older protagonist and like one of these like shonen like fight
Mhm.
whatever. He's one of the oldest protagonists that we've really seen in a long time. So I think that that's one thing that I really enjoy about this is that like it's not just like I'm 12 years old and I'm going to go beat up everybody in the universe. you know? So
12 years
I
old,
kind
my
of
life is so hard.
I kind of enjoy that.
I mean, it's
I
fine. I have nothing. It's nothing to do with his age. It's just his personality is not connecting with me.
That's so weird. I really enjoy Kafka, and I especially like I do think I like really enjoy the interactions that he has with other people. Um, maybe he'll grow on you if you keep watching because
I'm gonna keep.
I'm much further in this in the manga, but
I'm gonna keep watching. I enjoyed episode 4 more than any of the other episodes so far.
mm.
Um, Although I will say episode 3 was definitely, episode 1 I thought was terrible. Episode 2 was okay. Episode 3 was enjoyable, but episode 4 was actually pretty good.
What are you thinking about the Twin Tails girl? Liking her?
She's awesome.
Yeah, I figured. I was like, dude, she's like tsundere and has like twin tails. Like she's like right up your alley,
Yeah,
and she's badass.
and she's just awesome.
Yeah,
Everyone's like, "Oh, I got 10%," and she's like 49. They're like,
yeah.
she's the highest rated that we've seen."
Dude,
And I was like,
me
"Oh."
trying to explain, I was watching this last week. I was trying to explain this to like my dad because he's like, I don't get it. What does it mean, unleashed power potential? I'm Like, that's such an anime phrase.
Just know that if you have a high number, it's better. Okay,
Yeah.
Dad?
Yeah. It was funny. But
The opposite of golf.
yeah, oh, that's what I was gonna ask you. Okay. What did you think about the joke?
About the
This
what?
is random. What did you think about the joke in episode 2 about his nipples?
Oh, it was so
Did you
weird.
catch that? Dude,
Yeah, it's like
that's so funny. That's so funny. It's a quick moment, so if you're not paying attention, it's easy to miss. But I really thought that was so funny. Creative solutions.
This is gonna be one of those series that if I finish, I'm just gonna forget that episode 1 and 2 like exist because I never want to. I'm never gonna. If I had to rewatch them, I'd be like, no, I'm gonna skip those. Like,
I like them.
I'll go to the good parts.
I think
But
there's a lot of
anyway.
funny jokes in episode 2, like the old man getting scared and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I think there's some good stuff, but all right,
Yeah.
we can move on. I don't agree with you totally. I think that the show does get like the story gets stronger as it goes on, especially once you get past this like first little arc into like the main like actual story, and it's no longer like setup stuff. I think it gets a lot better, but I'm enjoying it the whole time. So I don't know. What else are you watching?
Oh, where do
All
I
the
want to go
seasonal
next?
stuff.
Yeah, I shout out real quick the many sides of voice actor radio.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest surprise for me this season. I thought it was just going to be like a throwaway like Yuri like comedy. Really good so far.
Okay.
I don't have a bunch to say, but it's just really enjoyable. Definitely a big surprise for me. And then my rant is actually going to be about Whisper Me a Love Song. And Yokohama Animation and Cloud Hearts, you know, the studios behind it. And I need you to listen. All right.
I'm
Cameron.
listening. My listening ears
Cameron.
are on.
They are butchering a masterpiece of a manga, and it's so sad. 2 episodes in a row, they have overused what is basically a PowerPoint fade out animation for scenes where it'll be a scene and then it will just zoom out into a white screen and fade away. And it's awful and I hate it. And then today they had a band practice scene, and music's a pretty big part of, you know, this series.
Yeah.
And rather than animate this, they did a bunch of still shots while they just played a clip of a previous song and didn't show them actually playing the song, and it was just a bunch of still frames, and then it ended. And it was like 30 seconds of that. And I was like, this is some of the laziest animation for like music that I've ever seen. And it makes me so worried because there is such an important concert scene that is going to happen in like the next 2 episodes. And if they do not animate it, I will be so upset. And the animation itself isn't anything to, it's not horrible, but it's not great. Like I think sometimes they do a good job making the characters at least look good, or at least, you know, capture the like cuteness or the coolness of Yori and Himari. But I never want to see a PowerPoint presentation again. I never want to see that fade out, because it felt like a 5th grade project where they were just fading out a scene, and they did it so much, and I hated it. And it as someone who has 8 volumes of this manga on his shelf, like, what are you doing? You started okay, and now you're just like, hey, nah, the source material, let's just butcher it, you know? I mean,
That's such a bummer.
they're following it, but they're not doing a good job. Like, it's just not being animated well. So that's my rant about how I'm disappointed with that. And then
Well, it really sucks.
my other comment was Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night is the best thing that I've watched in forever, and you need to watch it. And it made me feel emotions today. You remember those? You remember emotions?
I do remember your emotions, yeah, because
Oh, okay.
you messaged me about those emotions.
Yeah. Oh, it came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere.
I mean,
Just it's so good.
I do feel like there's always a chance that I may or may not watch it, but you never know, you know?
Just watch it. Just watch it.
But what if I don't want to?
We can watch it together.
It's just gonna be so mean. It's gonna say, well, now I'm really not gonna watch.
Rude. You're rude.
I know. Okay, but you left it open. What am I supposed to do?
Not be rude to me.
What is happening?
Maybe that.
This sometimes
I don't know.
Google Sheets drives me absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Why
maybe.
is it? Sorry. Hold on.
And then before we move on, the Archdemon's Dilemma on How to Love Your Elf Bride. You remember that show that I like that's airing this season?
Let me look it up really quick. Archdemon's Dilemma, How You Love. Oh yes.
Yeah. They literally did a title name drop in the last episode.
They did a what?
A title name drop where he's like, man, this is the Archdemon's Dilemma on How to Love My Elf Bride. And I was just like, I can't with this right now. This is great, but what are you doing? And I think it works because it's a comedy, but it's been so long since I've seen an actual title drop that mostly my my context is just people memeing it where they're like, this is My Hero Academia or stuff like that. And I'm just like, yeah, that's good. So I just wanted to
like that.
Throw that out there.
I love that. Title drops always crack me up. Actually, that's not true. Sometimes it's really cool. If it's like a really intense show and then like randomly like they hit you with the title drop and you're like, whoa, that was crazy. Sometimes it can be intense, but most of the time it's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
So thanks for sharing that.
But that's it. Just watching seasonal stuff. Season's real good.
Yeah, maybe someday we'll have other stuff to talk about when I have time to not read a bunch of books.
I read all my books and then I have nothing left to read and then I just watch
you read light novels, like physical light novels. I've been reading like books, like American books. No, they're not all American.
Nerd.
English
Loser.
books. I did do something really nerdy this week, but it's a good nerdy, and I am really, really proud of myself. I went to the bookstore, not proud of that part, but I went to my favorite bookstore that's nearby me that's like used books, and I ended up buying some books on writing, like to like study like plot structure and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm proud of myself for doing that. So that was a nerdy thing that I did.
Got the APA style guide.
No, I found a copy of what is it? Jeff Vandermeer's book. Hold on.
I don't know.
Vandermeer.
I don't know who that is.
So Jeff Vandermeer is a author that has some really, 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 really popular books. Like Annihilation is one of them. He has this book that's on writing, and I cannot remember the name of the book to save my life. But yeah, I ended up getting, it's called Wonder Book. That's what it's called. And I found a used copy of that for like $6 or $5, and it's normally like $25. So I was really excited about that.
Nice.
Okay, are you ready to move on to the news? We've got 5 stories this week. I'm proud of us. They're all pretty short, but
when did you add the 5th one?
It was always there in spirit, but I forgot to actually put the link, and it's the one you sent me.
Didn't we talk about that last week?
I don't know. You said I don't know if we talked about this last week, so I'm just gonna bring it up again, just in case we didn't, because it's very important.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I'll do the first, third, and fifth. You'll do the second and fourth. Since it's my news week, I'll be nice. Okay, so the first story for today is Crunchyroll has announced that they're increasing their subscription plan prices for Mega Fan and Ultimate Fan tiers. So the price increase is going from $9.99 a month to $11.99 a month for Mega Fan, and then Ultimate Fan is from $14.99 to $15.99 a month. The fan tier is going to remain at $7.99 a month. The free trial period has also decreased from 14 days to 7 days. That's kind of crazy. There were rumors of this price change earlier. Crunchyroll did have an interview, whoever was representing Crunchyroll, and said on February 29th of this year that they had no announcements about a price change at this time. So yeah. What a
I think it's
bummer.
okay. I think it's okay only because you can get everything in the Crunchyroll library ad-free for just the $7.99 for the fan tier, which is what I have. The other tiers are like if you buy things off like the Crunchyroll store, or if you want to like download for offline viewing and some
What?
other stuff.
I don't even know what I'm at. Oh, you want to know something so funny? I think I
What?
avoided the price change for a while because I think my Crunchyroll is yearly.
Oh yeah, I mean it probably will. Well,
I think I'm at the middle
but
tier.
I don't know. I get it. I mean, it's not that big of a price jump, not to like defend it
No,
or
it's
anything.
not. And it's also like they now have like the full like Funimation catalog stuff too,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of stuff in there. It's definitely worth the price. It's just I think that like I'm really fatigued at all of the subscription services like raising their prices continuously. And
Oh yeah.
Crunchyroll really hasn't done it since I think like 2020. I think is the last time that it happened. So it's not like they're just continuously increasing like Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that, but it's still yes, I did avoid my plan increase. I'm at the Mega Fan and I'm at $100 a year.
Oh, that's not bad.
No.
But yeah, so I mean, it really just depends on what you want to get out of your subscription. If all you want to do is watch anime and you'll be connected to the internet and you don't care about like offline viewing or buying stuff from the store or any of that stuff, just get the normal fan tier at $7.99. It's well worth the price, especially in the last like 2 decades where they've expanded their catalog exponentially.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really need
Mm-hmm.
the higher tiers, in my opinion. But I'm glad that they didn't change the base tier, which is what a lot of what Netflix, they added like ads to the base tier or whatever, and then they started increasing all the other ones. And I don't know, inflation's out of control. I'm sick of all the price increases, but I think as far as they go, this one is on the tamer side.
Yeah. So I do have the Mega Fan tier just because I do download stuff because I was traveling a lot last year. So
Yeah.
like because I was flying so often.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I have that one. But I definitely don't think anybody needs the Ultimate Fan tier. I
No.
don't think. I mean, unless you're really shopping on Crunchyroll a lot, and you like that 10% discount is like saving you a bunch of money. But like, I don't shop on Crunchyroll at all.
And if you're
So
shopping on Crunchyroll, here's a bit of advice:
shop somewhere else,
shop on Ami and just import everything,
or
and you'll
just at
save.
that point shop on Amazon.
Or shop on Amazon.
I'm just kidding.
You'll save money, because what Crunchyroll and all these other stores do is they just buy from Japan, and then they charge you
A
the
ton.
price that they paid for shipping the figure,
Mhm.
and then like a price on top of it. So
Yep.
anyways, number 2.
Number 2.
Haikyuu, the dumpster battle anime film, scored 1 clutch point. That's a funny pun. In Japanese theaters, and passed the mega blockbuster 10 billion yen line, making it the 15th anime film in Japan to ever do so. And then to celebrate, Toho Animation released a commemorative video thanking the fans for their support. This is the film that's going to be coming out in the US, right? Yeah.
Yes.
May 30th, so the end of the month.
Yes.
So this came from Crunchyroll.com by Daryl Harding.
The other one was from Anime News Network. My apologies. To give everybody context, this is $65,331,720 to be exact at the current exchange, which is kind of low right now, but
which for an animated movie, pretty nice. So good for them. I'm sure Bree will be excited to see it when it comes to the States.
Yep. I love Haikyuu.
I might go see it. I don't know. I'm kind of burnt. I feel kind of burned after the last season or two.
I like Haikyuu. My dad's girlfriend always, she gets the candy Haichu and Haikyuu mixed up, and so she always calls it Haichu. So now if I say Haichu, I mean Haikyuu.
Nice. Now, is this the end or is this just the next match?
This is I think that just like the dumpster battle. I don't think it's like the final. I think there's like supposed to be like one other film, maybe two. I can't remember. This isn't. I don't think this is the final piece though, if I remember correctly.
We do too many anime films for things that need to
just
end.
do more seasons.
Just stop stretching things so long.
No, I want it. I want more content. I want more Haikyuu.
Things need to end.
You're crazy.
Do number 3.
You guys just want to watch Haikyuu but a romance? Watch Given.
You could do that.
I mean, it is a Haikyuu fan fiction, but okay, number 3, you guys. I'm really excited about this. So Mappa, I'm mad at you, Mappa. I don't care about this. I'm still mad at you. Screw you for canceling the Yuri on Ice movie. Still really mad. But I do like this. They animated a music video for Eve and Do, I think is how you pronounce his name. It's another artist from a band called People One. So the song is called like the Flatwoods Monster, or in Japanese, Flatwoods Monster Mitaini. So this is a new song by Eve, who is one of the most Okay, Eve, genuinely, I'm not being hyperbolic, you guys. Genuinely, as of like right now, currently, Eve is my favorite artist. I am obsessed with his music. And then there's a vocalist / bass guitarist, which is Zoe of People One, and the music video just aired on Friday, which is yesterday for us. You can check it out on YouTube. While I was here, because I wanted everybody to know this music video exists, you should watch it. It's really incredible. I wanted to also let you guys know that if you have not watched, like gone through Eve's like music video playlist, you really should. All of his music videos are animated, all of them. I think there's 42 at this point. Some of his other music videos were done by Wit Studio, Cloverworks, stuff like that. He has some really, really like genuinely incredible music videos. Like the animation is incredible. Plus the music is like God tier. I've already linked it in the description. So if you guys do want to click onto that playlist, you absolutely should, because I promise it's a great time. Yeah.
I'll check it out after this.
There's one music video in particular that you should really check out. I'll send you that one in particular, Kyle.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. It's like one of those music videos where like the characters are like kind of genderless, so you could see it as like a Yuri or a Yaoi kind of thing. But I think you'll really like it. I really do love Eve. I'm not like exaggerating. I do like to exaggerate stuff, but Eve is
just
like
fangirling out.
Eve is like my favorite artist. So sometimes that does switch with Sekai no Ori though. Just
real talk. When I saw, I didn't click on the link beforehand, but when it said animates music video for Eve, I thought you meant Eve from Stellar Blade, and I was really like, oh, let's go.
No, Eve, the music artist. If you just want to Google it and you don't want to like click on the link for the playlist, you have to Google Eve music, because Eve is such a Eve is included in a lot of things, and it's very non-specific, so it's easiest to find it by Googling Eve music.
Oh, is Eve popular? The name of the woman from the Bible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. I wonder.
Yeah, I mean, he's God. Have you seen Bubble? He did the music for Bubble. He's
Bubble is beautiful.
done. I'm trying to think of what else he's done that I really enjoy. He did a song for Jujutsu Kaisen. Let's see what else this lists here. He's also done stuff for Josie the Tiger and the Fish, My Hero Academia, Promised Neverland. And he also did, there is on YouTube, I have not, full transparency, I haven't seen it, but there's a video on Netflix. It's like, I think it's like a 30-minute long like music video thing that's like Eve did with Netflix. So yeah, he's done a lot of crazy stuff. And
cool. Sounds awesome.
Based on his voice, he's very attractive.
All right, you ready to talk about some real music?
Ugh, yeah. That's why I saved that one there for you.
How dare you? Ugh. Bocchi the Rock anime launches Zep tour across Japan featuring Kasoku Band. It's a 5-city tour. They're going to Osaka, Sapporo, Tokyo,
What was it?
Nagoya,
Hmm.
and Fukuoka. Right?
Let me click. Hold on. I got it. I get it. Hold on. They are going to Osaka, Sapporo, Tokyo, Nagoya, and Fukuoka.
Yeah, I read it. I was asking you if I pronounced the last city right.
So you missed Sapporo and then Fukuoka.
Yeah. Well,
Very close.
I've never seen that city in my defense. So.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually kind of like that city name. It's fun to pronounce.
It's never come up in any lesson.
That's interesting.
I know. It's weird. But the 4 voice actresses from the series will be reuniting to appear as their characters on stage. Yoshino Ayama as Hitori, Ikumi Hasegawa as Kita, Saku Mizuno as Ryo, and Sayumi as Nijika. Suzushiro. That's what I thought. I just didn't want to butcher it.
That's okay.
Can they do an international tour, please?
Just go to Japan. Let's go. We're already planning on going. Just expedite your.
We'll go to that December date.
Which one is that one?
12/22.
Okay, for reals, one of my dreams, I'm so serious right now, you guys. One of my dreams is to spend like Christmas and New Year's in Japan, because like they have like this whole thing, like Christmas is supposed to be like, it's mostly like a romance holiday. It's like your girlfriend, boyfriend kind of holiday. And then they all yeah, KFC. And then they all like go to like the shrine, like you go to your first shrine visit of the year and all that stuff. Like I want to go there in December, like end of December, and stay through beginning of January so bad. So yeah, we can go to Fukuoka.
I'm on vacation that entire time.
I think it's more north if I remember correctly. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
It would be so cold.
Oh no, it's not. It's towards the bottom of Japan. So
okay.
It's just above Kyushu.
Okay.
Kumamoto, Kyushu, yeah. It's actually more south than like Osaka and everything. It's like almost at the very bottom. Anyways.
Oh really?
Yep. If we go to the Osaka one, then we can just hang out in Kyoto, because did not love spending time in Osaka. I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. So
Really?
Mhm.
Not a fan?
No, not really. My mom didn't like it that much either. It just like Osaka for some reason just felt like way more chaotic than even like Tokyo did sometimes. Like I don't know, like Osaka. The thing is like I think that like the way that I enjoy spending my time isn't like conducive with the way that people spend their time in Osaka. Not that there's not other things to do, but I think Osaka is very much like a nightlife kind of city where you like go to bars, you like party, you like drinking, eating, that kind of thing, and that's like not like really my vibe. I think I'm a little bit too
I get
introverted.
it. No, I
for
get it.
Osaka.
Well, listen, if I get to Japan, I'll go apply for my passport immediately. So
I'll buy tickets right now. Go get your passport.
all right, do your next one.
Just in case we didn't talk about it last week, Yen Press has also licensed Lethal Dose of Love, which is a BL manga. That's all that really needs to be said, but it's very important to me.
Bree's just excited.
I love BL.
I will say I went to Yen Press's website today to because every like month they'll like add a new month of what's come. So like since it turned May, they added what's coming out in October onto their release schedule, and I was able to pre-order everything I wanted except for the Lycoris Recoil manga. When I clicked on that, it says out of stock. And I'm like, is it just not up yet? Did I miss it? Did it like somehow get sold out immediately? That seems unlikely.
Huh.
So, get your pre-orders in, people.
You guys, I'm like looking. I can't tell if the right here, Bocchi. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find if the tickets are on sale.
For Bocchi?
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
No? Question mark? Let's see. I don't see anything. Okay, so I don't think it's on sale yet. Just the dates have been announced.
All right. Well,
yeah, there's no website or anything. Okay, we'll buy tickets when they go up.
We'll have to keep our eyes and ears open.
Yep.
Also if we went, I would.
Oh my god, I want to go see Oral Cigarettes. Sorry.
I would need to go see any Love Live things happening.
You're going. I don't know if I can.
Why? You could totally
Fine,
come.
I'll come. You better apply for your passport now.
Yeah. Anyways, what are we doing next? Spoiling Frieren?
Okay. Yes, we're going to be spoiling Frieren. I will say, you guys, I just looked this up because I think it's interesting. I was like, because everything that I was looking up is called a Zep tour. So I was like, what is happening? So Zep are there music halls that are like Japanese music venues that like are all over the country. So I just had to look that up because I was like, huh? Because I was looking at concerts and it said that there was a concert for Oral Cigarettes, and I was like, but it also said Zep tour. So I was like, what does that mean? It obviously means something. And that's what it means.
Yeah, that's I was wondering what it meant at first, and then when I saw that all the locations they were playing started with that, I figured out that it was just the music venue that they all shared.
Oh, right here, Nichigasaki. There's also a Yaosobi concert.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Dude, Yaosobi would be so fun.
It'd be so so good.
I think my dream concerts, right? Yaosobi, Eve, obviously, Sekai no Owari, and Ado would be so incredible to hear in person.
Mine are all just a bunch of,
fake people.
No, they're real, but they're idols. So
why has Eve not toured in the US, please?
I don't know. You want to spoil Frieren now?
No. Okay, you guys, topic of the show. We are going to be, as we said last week, we're going to be reviewing Frieren. For all of our reviews, we're going to start with a spoiler-free review, just to kind of give you our feelings. If you don't know that we're obsessed with Frieren at this point, you have not been paying attention. That's okay. I forgive you. I forgive you. We'll tell you again. And then we're going to move into spoilers. So, but we'll warn you before. We'll warn you because
Frieren shirt.
I'm cruel, but I'm not that cruel.
Cruel but fair.
Mm-hmm. So before we go into the review, just in case people bounce, what's your anime for the week? What's your anime recommendation for the week?
What's my anime recommendation for the week?
It can't be the same as last week. I know you want it to
No. I mean, last week I did Shakugan no Shana.
I guess that was 2 weeks ago that you did Jellyfish.
I did. Happy Sugar Life.
Okay. No context.
Get that dark twisted Yuri. Hope you enjoy.
You guys. Okay, my recommendation of the week is going to be Lovely Complex. It's a really cute. Have you seen that one?
Mm-hmm. Did someone just start watching that? No, someone started
watching.
No,
I recommended it in the list of
because someone started watching what was it? I can't remember. But yeah, you did recommend it in the list in the Discord.
Yeah, so somebody asked for recommendations from the anime channel in Discord, and we have a whole bunch of anime romance recommendations because Kyle and I mostly just watch romance anime apparently. So Lovely Complex. It is a really, really cute romance anime. I think that the subject of the anime is a little bit unusual. So basically it's about these two people. The girl is really tall and has a complex about it, and the dude is really short and has a complex about it. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, where it's like, like they both have complexes, and it's really funny. I love the characters. It's definitely an older anime, but I think it's definitely stands the test of time. And yeah, it's cute. I like it. I enjoy it. It's only 24 episodes too, so not that long.
Yeah.
There's your recommendation for the week, just in case you bounce before the topic of the show and or before the spoiler part. So let's talk about Frieren, Kyle. So we'll go ahead and just start with our spoiler-free general impressions of the show. Do you want to get started with that?
Yeah,
How do you feel about Frieren?
I love Frieren. I wasn't even gonna watch it at first, and then you texted me saying you watched like the first 4 episodes and that you were like sobbing and that I needed to watch it. So I watched it like that night and I fell in love with it because it was a masterpiece. And then I think you and I were literally about to do a podcast or whatever, and I bought the entire manga right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was really cool seeing what I was reading and then the anime expand and do it so perfectly. This is such a perfect like one-to-one adaptation that I have I literally have no complaint with anything that they did. The animation was gorgeous. The style, the music is beautiful. I love relaxing and listening to the soundtrack, which is on Spotify for anyone who wants to listen to it.
Or Apple Music.
The characters are all great. Every single one of them. World building's fantastic. And yeah, I am in the camp that it deserves to be the #1 rated show on Mal.
Okay, Frieren, what are my spoiler-free impressions? I love Frieren so much. I think that there's such an incredibly profound story being told that's really important. I think that like a lot of the times that the topic of death is really avoided, but I think that this show takes the topic of death head on in such a beautiful way. And I don't think that you'll find I don't think you'll find a better told story, or at least I have not encountered one thus far. I do really believe that this story is a masterpiece. I don't have any complaints about it. Um, the characters are incredible. The animation is incredible. I also listen to the soundtrack constantly. My favorite thing right now when I read books is I'll go, so Apple Music has that like infinite play.
Mhm.
I'll go to the Frieren album. The composer is Evan Call, such an incredible composer. He did what is that one show with the blonde girl and the mechanic arm? It's on Netflix.
Violet Evergarden.
Thank you. Yes, he did the soundtrack for Violet Evergarden as well. But yeah, he's an incredible composer, and the music is insane. Um, and so my favorite thing is to like hit shuffle on that playlist and then just let it go through other soundtracks, because anything that's kind of like Free Rent soundtrack is gonna be good. So yeah, I do want to say I really, really agree with Kyle. I think that this anime deserves the spot as number one anime of all time, and I think that it deserves to stay there for a long time. Um, it's it's incredible. We'll stop there.
Um, before we move on, just because it came up, especially in the first half of the season, yeah. So we did the opening theme song,
Oh,
for the first
oh
half of the
my
season,
god. So
and
good.
what I thought it was lovely. I thought the lyrics fit everything. It was really just a fantastic song. But there was a lot of people online that didn't think it like fit, and they wanted more of like a folky theme song. And I don't think we even got that in the second one. And I like
No,
the
I
second
did
one.
not like the second one.
See, I love the second one,
Mm-mm.
but it didn't compare to the first one. The first
No.
one I thought was so good.
Yeah.
Um, and I like
They
that they kept.
really, she really ate with that first song. I'm telling you, you guys, it's like like tonally it fits the show so well. I don't know what anybody's talking about.
And I like that they kept the ending song throughout
Yeah,
the
but they
entire
just
thing.
changed it a little
They,
bit. Oh, that
but
was
they,
so cool.
yep. So that's another musical part of what makes the show really great. And I really think everyone should listen and pay attention to the lyrics in the first song, especially because I think
It's
that
worth
they.
watching every single time.
Oh yeah, I watched it every single time.
Every single time, because you get something different. Like you can spend one watch like paying attention to the lyrics. You can spend another watch paying attention to the musicality. You can spend another one paying attention to the animation. You can actually
Hmm.
spend several paying attention to the animation. So
Oh
good.
yeah, yeah. But all right, you want to spoil this now? You want to talk about it?
This is your official warning that we are going to move into spoilers. I think that we'll probably move kind of slowly. We may jump around a little bit, but we'll probably kind of go not literally episode by episode, but probably like from the beginning to the end kind of thing, just
Yeah,
because there's different story arcs that kind of happen.
probably big
So,
story beat by story beat. I'd say at least,
yeah.
because there are
So,
there are some important things that happen.
there are important things that happen. I love
All right.
Freedom. Okay, you guys. So, Um, to start us off here, the concept, just like in general, free run, right, is that her journey has ended, like, which is so cool. Okay,
Freeren's an elf.
free run's an elf. Her journey has ended. The Demon King is dead, and the first episode is like them coming back from the journey. And I don't know if I've quite experienced an emotional journey like that first episode, like
Do-
ever.
Isn't it so cool how normally the story is about like assembling the party and then going to defeat the Demon King, but instead Freeren's story is about we defeated the Demon King and we came back and this is what happens after it.
Yeah. It really is so cool. And it's definitely not unique. Like it's not the first show that's done it for sure. But I think it's the first show that's done it so well and has really like reflected on it. I think that I think it's so interesting to watch. This first episode, we see what Frieren is like with the heroes party, right? We see her personality, we see the way that she interacts with everybody. But as we continue through the show, like watching her reflect on her time that happens before this is it's almost like night and day difference from the way that she was with the heroes party, which I think is so interesting because she's kind of like not cold as in like cruel, but like kind of deadpan. But when you see her like reflect on her journey, she's like so fond and nostalgic and like misses them so much.
I think Frieren is definitely a classic. Not nostalgia, but like you don't realize what you have until it's like gone. And I think that hits Frieren a lot more because she lives hundreds of years after people that she knows died.
Yeah, she's
Um,
well over 1,000 years old, right?
and seeing her reflection, and how it kind of is different, but in some ways similar to her journeys now with Fern and Stark, and how
Yes.
she's grown and changed and understands the importance of things more that she didn't understand then. Um, I think it's beautiful. I love seeing Friren's little reactions, even when she might not realize how important some things are. um you can, like, you as the viewer see it like on her face, even if her words don't match her expression sometimes.
Yeah.
And and I think what first shows that the best is when you get to Himel's funeral.
Dude, okay.
um
Like literally, okay, I was sobbing because like she's so like I said, she's so cold, right? She doesn't have any like real like emotions that reflect on her face for that first
well,
part. Like when you get to
she
know her, right? She's just
when
deadpan.
yeah, when the party comes back and they have the celebration and they're like, "What's everybody gonna do?" You know, like, Eisen and Himmel and them are reflecting on the journey and talking about what they're gonna do with their lives after this. And Freeman's just like, "I'm just gonna go continue looking for magic." And she doesn't make a big deal about leaving the people that she's journeyed with for the last 10 years because to her, it's a fraction of time. It's so minuscule to her.
Yeah.
Um, but, like, to Hamel, that's a good chunk of his life.
Yeah. I
To
think he like he loves her for
Oh,
what
yeah.
I think you could
And you
easily consider all of his life because
Oh,
like I
yeah.
mean full spoilers, right? He met her when he was a little kid. So I think there
Um,
was only a couple years that he didn't know who she was.
yeah, and then, they journey together, and we'll get to all, like, his, parts. But when she's back, and at first, she's, like, deadpan, acting like it's, yeah, Hamel's dead.
See
He's
you
not the
later.
first.
See you in 50 years.
Yeah, he's not the first person that she knew that died or whatever, and everyone at the funeral is, like, talking about how cold she is and how heartless she is,
Mhm.
and then to see her, like, sob
Dude,
and break down,
her breakdown at the funeral is so hard to watch,
um,
but in a good way.
it it is hard because she doesn't, like, internally, she's having a hard time understanding
Well,
why.
okay, here's the thing, like, like can you imagine coming to the sudden realization like how much you loved somebody, like how much you like in the depths of your soul loved somebody and they're gone. And that's the moment that you realize how much you love them. Like that like
Well, not even that. She's not even, like, understanding that, like, concept yet of, like, love and everything. Like, even as the viewer, I think
I kind of
but, like, when they find out about, where they, need to go at the end, like, on the journey or whatever, to the, like, final resting place, to meet him again. Like, the whole
to
purpose
heaven.
is yeah, the whole purpose is because she wants to, like, have a conversation with him. She wants to realize, like, and figure out what exactly was this, you know? So I think I don't think she's like, "Oh, I was in love with him."
No, no, no.
I think she
But I think her body and soul
Oh,
recognizes
yeah.
like that she loved him. Like
Yeah.
even if she like consciously doesn't understand. So like I just can't like I really can't imagine like experiencing that kind of like devastation.
And I
Because
think,
it's one thing to lose somebody, but it's another to know that you wasted so much time.
well, I think that's what Frieren, she doesn't admit her like feelings, not like romantically, but how much she actually cared about her party members. Because then you get to where she goes and meets Fern for the first time, and the drunk priest is on his deathbed, and he wants her to like decode this book, but she knows the entire time that it's not the spell that he wants. um but she's doing it anyway because he's literally dying, and she's training Fern, and Fern becomes her apprentice.
Yeah.
um
I don't know. I think that like one of the things that stood like specifically what you're talking about with Fern becoming her apprentice and that whole thing is that like her party members know her so well, and the way that like this is why I say that this story is a masterpiece, because it's 100% like a show don't tell kind of thing, where it's like they don't want her to be alone, and they know that she will be if they just leave her, right? Because that's
yeah,
what she was. She was alone before, like,
yeah,
she
she was
like
living in a forest.
once her teacher passed away, she was alone. But in those quiet, like in like the quietest way, the story is like these people care about her so much that they don't want her to be alone.
Yeah, and Hyder really does a good. I mean, he doesn't do a good job triggering her because she knows, but I think he realizes the importance of her not being alone, and that's why he wants Fern to be there for her.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of Fern as a character?
I really enjoy Fern. She's like admittedly like I think she's a really, really awesome character. I really love her dynamic with Frieren and the way that they care for each other. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think that she's an incredible magician, wizard, whatever. Um, and yeah, I think I really do love Fern. I think that she's really awesome. But I think
I
you have
re-
stronger feelings for Fern than I do.
Yeah, I mean, I just like seeing the difference between, not that Freeren's master was mean in any way. She was fantastic, and she did a great job, like instilling some very great lessons in Freeren. But I love the dynamic between Freeren and Fern. I love that Fern, is like the student, but also like will discipline Freeren and like get mad at her.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of at some points is the
Pulls her out of the
mom
mimic.
of the
Yeah.
the mom of the group, but at the same time she's so immature and has a lot of growing to do. And
It throws a lot of fits.
yeah, I mean, her pouty face is cute though.
Yeah,
And
it is funny.
Stark, and her dynamic with Stark is so good.
If they don't end up together, I'm gonna scream.
I think it'll be fine.
I'm gonna scream if they don't. I'm just saying.
But yeah, so then Frieren gets Fern. Then they go to the village and they get Stark. Stark is a scaredy cat dork who is incredibly powerful. And I like Stark as a character.
He's so funny.
I don't think this season did a great job showing how powerful and how good, how much of a character he is. But I think it's fine because this was definitely more of like
This is
Frieren and
Fern's.
Fern's
Mm-hmm.
major arc. So I love Stark's dynamic. I love that he's like the comic relief sometimes, like
Dude, there's
when he
so
was
much stuff
when he
that
was
cracks me up.
training and that old guy kept talking to him and they're like, "Who's that?" He's like, "I don't know."
That's one of
But
my favorite. I was literally gonna bring that up. Like literally one of my favorite jokes, because the guy's like, this is all that I can teach you.
I
Then
have nothing
people,
left to teach
I
you.
have nothing,
And
and then leaves, and he's like, "Who is that?"
but what's funny
Oh
is
my
like
god, so funny.
when they're leaving the town, he says goodbye to them. Like he is the people person of the party. Like
He's very,
ev-
very much. He's very similar to Himo in that way. You know,
y-
like with helping people and stuff like that.
yeah, I I and he's another one that, clearly Aizen knew that it was important that for Stark's growth and for Frieren that they go on the journey, which is why he recommended him. But Stark's great. They get to the town because they got to go north. The town is being sieged by Aura the Guillotine, who
Mm.
is the first big demon general that we see.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to see some fantastic, beautiful fight animation with Stark and Fern fighting her lackeys. And then we get to see Frieren go beast mode,
Yep.
which is so cool.
I'm telling you, watching that for the second time, watching that episode like the second time was so cool. I was like so hyped for it.
Where the scale tilts and then she's confused, and then Frieren says she's lived for over 1,000 years and shows her mana and stuff.
Like, yeah,
And then she just tells
that was
her to
definitely a "you're
cut her
already
own head
dead"
off.
kind of moment. It was so
Oh
good.
yeah, that's one of the moments early on that it's like, oh, Frieren is actually like super, super powerful. Like this isn't
Mhm.
like a fluke. Like, Himmel wouldn't have been successful if it was anyone else. But that whole episode and arc is great. I love the fighting there. When they get into the Northern Lands, they meet what's his name?
The elf.
Yeah, what is his name?
I have it right here. Hold on. Elf.
I'm trying to remember.
I just have to find
Let's
the
see who can find it first. Craft. That's his name.
craft.
Another elf, and
Mhm.
Frieren. There's not many elves left because the
Oh my
elves
god.
don't really focus on procreation.
Dude, the
But
payoff of Kraft coming back later as that like hero statue was so crazy. I was so excited about that because they were like, "Oh yeah, this is like the hero that we're like super like excited about or whatever." And I was like,
and yeah, and everyone. So that's one of the first times where you kind of see that hero is more of like a class title, and there isn't just one hero. There's a bunch of heroes, and Himmel's just the hero who defeated the Demon King.
"Yeah,
But
um,
Kraft, him and Frieren are like, haven't seen one of my kind in like
yeah."
400 years.
Well, how like I was just gonna say like, how do you feel about Kraft's character? Because I really enjoyed his character. I'm actually glad that he didn't join their party, but I really
Yeah,
enjoyed his character.
I'm glad he didn't join right here. Yubel does meet him on her little
Oh
journey.
yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that one's cool
Yeah, they
too.
have that little interaction where Kraft's like,
He's like, "You're a killer."
like you murdered all these people. You are a
Yeah.
killer. And
He's
she's
like,
like,
"Yeah, I was
so?
actually saving them, not you."
Yeah. Um, and I think that's a good interaction. I think he'll be important later and he'll come up again, but he was enjoyable. I thought that everything that happened with him this season was great. Flom, we also got her whole backstory
Oh,
with
Flamme?
Frieren,
Mm.
meeting her and training her, how she has all these fake grimoires all over the
Yeah.
place. And
Yeah,
Frieren's
she
just
like
like,
goes and like Frieren collects them. I like the things that Frieren collects. They all seem so silly, but they're so important to her.
they are so silly. Are you kidding me? And I love that Fern has adopted the silliness where she just chooses the basic dry cleaning and like cleaning the clothes spell.
Yeah.
And Siri's like, are you an idiot?
I loved that. No, I think that like the reason why I say that they're important, like they're silly but they're important, is because Frieren is learning silly spells, but she's doing it to make other people happy, right? So for
Yeah.
example, one of the spells that she learns is to make like sour grapes. And she learns
Sweet.
that specifically because like what's his face likes sour grapes specifically.
Yeah.
Um
Um.
I can't even
She.
remember his name right now,
She.
but Aizen. There we go.
Yeah.
Aizen
Aizen.
likes sour grapes. And so she like learns a spell to make sour grapes so that way he always has them. She like learns how to, do the flower field
Yep.
because like
Start a
her
flower
teacher
field.
likes it, and like she's doing stuff on purpose even though it doesn't really seem like it, and they are very silly, but she's purposefully like all she really does is try to make people happy, which is like it's so cute. I love it.
I think it's cute how she is. Whenever she sees a chest, she's like, "There's a 0.01% chance that there's a rare grimoire in here." And then
Yeah,
there's
she
like,
does like the whole spell that's like, yeah, this is a mimic, and she's
yeah,
like, but
it's got an error rate. It could be wrong.
hmm
Like no, and then she always gets eaten.
put in
Like
the math on that,
she's such a dork in the best way,
hmm
um, because she's just doing what she wants, and I love how so early on in the season, they open Free suitcase,
hmm
and I don't. This early scene isn't in the manga where they open the suitcase, but in the suitcase is Himmel's ring, is a bunch of different stuff, and as you know, as someone who had read the manga, when I saw that, I was like, they're teasing it right here. This is great. Um, so then when we get to that point, it like the payoff was even better.
Yeah, because it's like
Um,
it's such it again is one of those things that seems silly, right? She just has this collection of stuff, but there's this ring that's like supposed to be a flower that's supposed to mean like eternity or like being together forever kind of thing. And
yeah,
he
I
like
mean
gave her that.
he literally dashes in front of her and gets down on a knee and like proposes, even
I
though she
definitely
does,
teared up at that the first time I saw it. I was like,
even though she doesn't
oh,
quite get it.
yeah. He's he seems like such an incredible person. I
Um,
will say I kind of there's a couple things that I want to touch on here just as we're like kind of at this halfway ish point,
yeah,
just before the halfway ish point. Um, One, very important. I didn't know this, you guys. Kyle's making fun of me, but I don't care. The flowers that are Himo's favorite are real flowers. They're real flowers, and I didn't know this, and you can see them. You can go see them. There's a flower field that I just found recently in Japan. Kyle and I are
yeah.
gonna go see it.
I think I texted you today. You learned flowers exist.
Yeah, but like I didn't know that that flower was real because a lot of the times like stuff in anime like it's like oh it's a real thing but it's like not like you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I got
Um
you.
but yeah, that's very important to me. I did want to like you said specifically, I think that like all of the stuff with the ring is so the way that's the way that unfolds, like that whole story of like what's going on with this ring is so well done. Like I think that that's one of the great examples of like how well this story is written, where it's like they just introduce this ring, then she loses it, and so it's like it kind of seems important, but nobody really understands because she's never talked about it before. She just kind of keeps it loose in this like random suitcase thing. Well, then she's able to find it, and
Well,
like they're
no,
like, oh, what is it, right?
first she said she was gonna leave, and then once she mentions to Fern that it was from Himmel, Fern's like, "No, we're finding it."
Yep. Yep. And so they find it, and then we like later piece together that like her ring is actually like that flower, because Stark accidentally gives it to Fern.
Yeah, accidentally.
And I don't know, I think that that's like just an example of like how organically this story kind of is written and how it like unfolds, like just through like those quiet moments and like world building and stuff like that. It's so good.
Although,
Um
come on, Stark. Like, you literally give her the option to like exchange it, and she's like, "No, I'm keeping it." And then he's still like so dense. I'm like, "Come on, man,
uh-huh. Yep. Yep.
you don't get it."
They'll get there eventually. Um another thing that I wanted to touch on, just because like we're right here. I think it's episode 12. Yeah, episode 12 is the one that's about the hero sword, and I like this episode. Like I think is going to forever. It's one of those things that's like going to be forever stuck in my head,
Did
where
you
we find out that these monsters, right, are surrounding this cave, and the cave holds the
which has the
hero's sword,
sword? Yep.
and the hero's sword is still there. So even though Himmel was the hero of the people, and
Hamel could
this,
not pull the
he
sword.
couldn't pull the hero's sword.
Did you
I,
when before they showed the sword was still there, did you think that Hamel was the one that had pulled it out?
yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Of
Yeah.
course, because he's like the hero, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, Himmel the hero," and like everybody else that's associated with him is the hero's party, right? So everybody, and to be fair, he is the hero, right? He did accomplish what he said he was going to. But I think that this moment, why it's so important to me, is because not because he couldn't draw the sword, but because he didn't give up just because he couldn't draw the sword.
Yeah.
And I think that that's so incredibly important, and I think that that's such a that it's such an important piece of his personality and his character.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
And I
absolutely.
loved that moment so much.
Yeah,
So freaking good.
that's a good character building moment for Hamel, definitely. And it's it's shocking to like Stark because they were all under the impression that he was the hero who pulled the sword. But Frieren's like the secret is that he didn't pull the sword. It's still
Mhm.
here. Also, I like that Frieren just goes around to these towns that she visited on her journey. That she was like, "Yeah, I'll be back in like 50 years or whatever to do this," and then
Mhm.
she comes back and does whatever she promised. Um, and a lot of that is because Himmel like taught her the importance of helping the people in front of you, and if you say you're going to do something, doing it.
Mhm.
So after that, we meet Sane.
Zine.
Um, what do you think of him, the village priest?
I mean, there's not a character that I don't love in this show. I think that there are characters that I can definitely tell are evil, or that I don't love as much as the other characters, but I don't think there's a character that I've disliked in this show. But yeah, we meet Zine the priest, and he is just as much of an alcoholic as the other one. And I really like, again, this is another thing where it's like the fact that he doesn't continue on his journey with them is, I think, such an important moment as well, right? Because like he travels with them, he clearly enjoys their company, he's very important to their party, but finding his friend is more important to him, and so he goes on his own. And I
I
really
mean,
hope he finds his friend.
so I don't know what happens to him, but my prediction is that he will find his friend and then they will both join up with Frieren.
That's what I
Um,
really hope it happens. What
I
I thought was going to happen when we introduce him and he starts traveling with them is I thought that they were going to find his friend and he was already going to be dead.
well, that'd be dark, but I mean that'd be realistic. Um, I I think that is gonna happen because then it would complete the like party of Fern being the mage, Stark being the warrior. His friend could be the hero, and then he could be the priest.
Yeah.
And Freeren could,
Gorilla.
yeah, it's such a dumb name. But then Freeren could like see this new party on their journey and reflect that way. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but that's just what I thought would happen.
Yeah.
He's a great character, and him and Freeren's interactions, especially when he's like,
And
when
she's
I'm into
like,
older women, and yeah, and
dude,
then she,
or like when she like blows a kiss and they're like all freaking out.
I was, except him, but
Yeah.
Ferdinand Stark are like,
We're like, oh my God.
yeah. That's one of my favorite free run moments because it shows how innocent she is as
Dude.
a
And her whole thing,
person.
like her the whole thing of like, oh, Himel passed out when I did that or
Yeah.
whatever.
Um, well, and then
Oh,
they're like, yeah, that's because it was him. Um,
that's so funny.
But yeah, that's one of the best moments. But they go, they go on a journey. He leaves, and then they get to what is the big arc to end the season, which is the
Well,
first.
before we get to the last arc, I do think it's important to talk about Stark and his family because they have a reflection where he goes to the Orden Manor, right?
Oh, you know what? You're right. I don't want to skip Stark and Fern's dance scene either.
Yeah, we don't want to skip that scene. No, um no, but what I think is so interesting about this, and I just want to say for the record, I think that there's a chance, I'm not 100% confident, but I think there's a chance that Stark's brother is alive because he didn't see him die, right? He left and ran away. So I'm not saying that his whole village survived, but I'm saying that there's a chance, and I'm
I
hoping
can't comment on anything to do with Stark's village.
that's fine. I am just hoping that Stark's brother is alive, and that's my prediction. But
Is that just because he was? Is that just because he
he's
was
very
nice to
handsome.
him? Oh, it's just because he was handsome. Got it. Okay. Jeez.
He's very handsome. No, I
All right.
think I dude, the way that Stark watching Orden and his younger son interact, and him reflecting on his relationship with his brother and kind of realizing that his brother really did love him was so, it hurt my heart.
Yeah, it's
And
good.
of course we get the dancing.
Yeah, and I mean this whole part is
That
just
whole
character.
episode too of Fern selling him was so good. Where he's like, no, we're okay. And then Fern's like, we're out of money. And then they're like, okay, yeah. You can have him.
How much? Yes.
She's like, that's snacks for a year.
Done.
Dude, that's another piece of their dynamic where she's kind of in that mom role with Frieren, but it just cracks me up that she quantifies it in snacks.
Because Frieren, that's how Frieren understands. Frieren would just spend it all on grimoire.
Yeah.
Or snacks.
Yeah, so I want to make sure we didn't miss that one because I thought that one was important.
That's fair. That is fair.
Okay, so then we can go to the first class mage exam, which is episode 18 and on.
Yeah,
and
so
that's the rest of the season.
To get farther north, they need to have a first class mage.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you think Luina and Kane are together?
Yeah, they're totally gay. Are you kidding me?
Okay. I'm like, this feels so gay, you guys. This feels so gay.
Come on, their whole backstory is just them. Yeah,
yep.
Come on.
Okay, I just wanted to pulse check with you because I'm like, they're not ever explicitly together. They don't even hold hands or anything like that. But I'm like,
no, but they comfort each other. They're always together, even when they're fighting. They've been together since they were kids.
There's just something about it because it's
their magic literally complements each other.
As much as I love queer romance, which is queer romance is my favorite genre, whether it's boys love, girls love, or even non-binary people or whatever. Queer love is my favorite genre, but there's just something about it that is it just doesn't read as friends to me. It feels like there's just something a little bit extra in their dynamic. And I'm I think maybe it's the extra animosity where it's almost reads of flirting rather than sisters that hate each other.
Exactly. It reads as I'm picking on or teasing you because I like you rather than
if we got a queer romance in this later, I would scream, you guys. I'd be so thrilled.
I mean, I definitely think you can see, or you at least get the bait of that at the end of the arc where she's comforting her and patting her head and everything.
Yeah. Also, can I borrow what's her face's brothers, Kane's brothers? I'll take any of them.
Anyways,
that was my very important question because I feel like I just wanted to make sure that you were also getting the sense of this is Yuri.
Yeah, I got it in the manga and I got it in the anime. So
Okay. So yeah, so we have the first test, and like
the first
that
the
she
first
gets
test
separated, like
the first
Fern and
test they're in
Frieren.
teams.
Hmm.
You have to catch the bird that flies faster than like the speed of light,
Dude, the big birds are so scary.
and those big birds will
Those
murder
big
you.
birds, the big birds, they'll murder you, and then they'll leave the bodies, not because they don't want to
To it,
eat the bodies, but because they want to get more
yeah,
prey.
yeah, they're
That's
smart.
sinister.
Yeah,
That's
they're smart.
sinister.
They know what's up. But we meet a lot of characters in this arc. We
Oh yeah,
meet
we do. We meet
Sari,
the
we
most important
meet
one, Weirbill.
Sense, uh, Genu, yeah, Yubel, Denkin, Weirbel, Kana, Hon. Who else do we meet? We
Shraff.
meet, yep. We meet Glasses.
Yeah, Denkin.
He has a
Uh,
name, but I'm just gonna call him Glasses.
Ere,
But yeah, so we meet all of them.
Richter.
We meet all of them in this arc. There's there's some really cool fight scenes in Test One. The standout, I think, being Ubel versus Weirbel. I think the
Oh,
whole
that was such a cool fight.
if I can see you, I can paralyze you and you can't move, but I have to see your whole body thing is super cool. I think
Yeah.
it's super awesome how Ubel can just copy literally
Yes.
anybody's thing.
And I think it's so interesting. Like again, I keep harping on this, but it's so important. Like Weirbill developed this magic because he needed time to prepare himself to kill people.
Yep.
Like that's why this magic exists. Like that's why he can do this, is because like he knows and he does kill people, right? He has killed
Mm-hmm.
many people, and he will, but he always needs that moment to kind of settle himself and like be able to do it, which I think is such an interesting like character beat. And it's such an interesting way that the magic has developed, like using the
This
magic system to for storytelling. So, again, incredible writing,
what I
incredible writing.
really what I really love about this arc is it shows how different everyone uses magic and
Yes.
how versatile it is
Uh-huh.
because
Because we don't get that at all.
a lot of it before in the fights you see Frieren and Fern using Zoltrak,
And
um
that's it. Because that's all that's
and
needed. And they're dumb spells.
yeah, and they're silly spells, but for like attack magic you see Zoltrak,
Yeah.
and um when Fern uses it in the fight, everyone's so surprised because she's just using the basic attack
Yeah, she's
spell,
basically auto attacking.
but she literally does it so fast and so many times that no one can keep up with her, and
Yeah.
she's just beating these people that are using all these like flashy things. But
I think
I
it would be so interesting. Not that I think that Fern will, but I think it'd be really interesting to see what Fern's magic would develop into if she decided to do something else for attack magic, or like add on to her attack magic, because like the way that magic develops, it seems to be so personal to like that person and like what they need. Um and I think that, by the way, another thing's talking about the way the magic develops, another thing that's like, hey, they're probably gay, kind of.
I said their magic complements each other.
I know. It's so good, you guys.
The
Anyways,
one the one's water and then the other freezes it with ice.
yeah, because they developed their magic together. Wink, wink. Um, no,
Not the
so
only thing they developed together.
that
Anyways,
was my joke. That was my joke. That was my
anyways,
joke.
um,
I totally lost my train of thought because gay. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I think that I enjoyed the first test. I will say I almost, again, I really don't have any complaints, and this is definitely not a complaint about the show, but it was jarring for them to suddenly switch into this like battle slash magic exam from like being on a journey. It felt very like abrupt to me. Um and it's like almost like whiplash, where I was like, whoa, what's going on?
um, yeah, and no. I didn't find it so. like whiplashy just because
Well, you read the manga.
that, but all like even in the manga, like when they're like, oh, you need to be the first class mage, and then they explain how to do it, like Frieren's just like, okay, sure,
Hmm.
like Fern, you do it, but then Fern's like, no, we both do it.
Yeah, I understand the reasons why, and again, that's why it's like not really like a complaint, and I enjoyed the arc, but it was just so different from them like being slice of lifey.
I also love how little Frieren cares about any sort of magic association or title or anything.
Well, it's because none of it matters. I had to that was one of the things I actually had to explain when I was watching is because they were like, "Well, why did she not care about this?" And I was like, "Because it doesn't matter to her because she's registered as a mage with several different associations, and every time the association dies out and her registration doesn't matter anymore. So why would she keep why would you keep registering for something? It would be like taking the law test over and over and over again, like because the government changes. Like you'd be like, it doesn't matter. Like I can still like understand what's going on, right?
Yeah, and then they have the second, so a bunch of people pass, and then they go to the second test
Which is such a cool
where
test, by the way.
they have to get through the never finished and never fully explored dungeon.
Yep. While we're on this dungeon, just because I personally loved this story beat, her saying, "Oh, there's not really any more dungeons left because email made us go through all of them," is so funny to me. Like that's why
He
it took
loved
10 years.
he loved dungeon crawling, man.
I mean, I would too if I was with that kind of party. It would be fun.
But I think it was cool that Frieren did the exact same, where they're like, "This is the way to go," and then Frieren's like, "That means we go backwards. Like
Yep.
we're checking everywhere."
Yep.
Um,
I do that. That's what's so funny is like when I play
yeah,
video games,
I do that
you
too.
do that. You're like, oh, this is the way forward. Got to go back that way. I did that with Stellar Blade a lot.
So
Stellar Blade has great dungeons.
yeah, so I'm not mentioning him a lot, but Denkin is actually like a super important character. And he's a royal mage. He's super old, finally taken the first mage
Him just
thing.
wanting to go to his wife's grave is like so
Yes.
heartbreaking.
And you know, I think his motivations out of everyone's are actually pretty, you know, sincere and noble.
Yeah.
He's not just Ubel, like, I just want to kill everybody and do what I want. But yeah, so then the second stage, a bunch of people get eliminated. A bunch. Because they have to fight exact copies of themselves, which I thought was super cool. I thought it was super cool that Frieren's like copy was like the final boss before the one doing it all. The fight between the Frieren copy and Frieren Fern was expanded on in the anime so much. It was beautiful. I loved every minute of it. I thought all the action scenes were great. Ubel doing the whole I can cut anything as long as I believe I can cut it.
Her relationship with the glasses person is so interesting to me. Like the way that she like purposefully like murders people but like protects him. You know?
They
just have an interesting
dynamic, and I think a lot of it is because she knows that he's not actually there.
Dude, that whole thing where she's like, "Oh, it's so funny that you're like sitting and having tea."
Sitting at your hometown.
I was gobsmacked. I was like, "Holy cow," because I thought that the second person was always the real him, right? Because he's like, "Oh, sorry."
Same. And
that's such a shocking moment.
When they did that reveal, I was like, "Oh my god, this guy just passed the exam sitting at his house."
He's such a
he's
so crazy.
But then the third exam is just Sari telling people whether they passed or not based on her opinion.
Yeah, because too many people passed the second test.
Yeah, and then she goes ahead and passes a bunch of people anyways, because she gets surprised by all of them. Fails Frieren because her and Frieren do not get along. And Frieren knew that she would fail her, but she said that you won't be able to fail Fern because of the prediction that they made a while ago.
For you guys. She passes Denkin,
Yep.
Methode, Weirbill, Land, and Ubill.
And Fern.
And then, of course, Fern. Just to give
Yeah.
you guys the list, because I was wondering too.
So she passes them. They all get to pick a spell that they want. She knows every spell in existence. She can give it to them. And then we get where Frieren and Stark are waiting outside of the like cathedral or whatever for Fern, and Frieren gets attacked by Lernan, who was the first ever first class mage, and who I don't know if the anime explained it very well, but it's actually almost or as strong as Frieren is. I don't know if that came across very well, but he is a baller. He knows what he's doing. But he had no reason. I never really liked his attack on Frieren because.
Well, I mean, I understand, right? No, I feel like I understand his motivations perfectly, right? Because he wants Serie's like attention and love, and he said like his motivations are like, if I'm able to beat Frieren, who Serie like clearly like recognizes as this incredible mage, then I would then have that attention, that love, that like I would live forever in her mind.
Yeah,
but then like
it's
Frieren
just Frieren
explaining like
doesn't.
everybody like she doesn't forget any of her students.
Yeah, she remembered everyone, all of them. But
By
also
the way, we didn't cover that concept, but that concept is really, really cool in this as well, where it's like I will carry your memory. I thought that was really cool.
But Frieren having no interest in fighting him for such a reason that doesn't do anything for her.
Well, I don't even think it's like her disinterest. I think her just understanding what he's going through.
Yeah, but she has she has no reason to fight him because she understands that she already knows that he'll be in her memory forever. So, and then the season moves on. They're going north, and it ends.
One of the last things that happens in like this last episode is there's a flashback, and Aizen is like, why are you doing all of these things? Like, why are you doing all these minor tasks? And Himel's like, like, I'm not saving the world, but I can't ignore anybody that's in need. You guys, can I just find somebody that's like kind of just like Himel, maybe? Please?
Maybe in the 1500s. You just gotta travel.
I mean, he doesn't need to be like literally a hero, but like, I don't know, just some of those like personality traits, you guys.
I do love Frieren's whole why she says quick goodbyes to everybody though.
Yep,
because it'd be embarrassing. Because it'd be embarrassing when they met again if you had this long, drawn out, sad goodbye.
Yeah, she pulls that like she just is like following what Himel says.
And I'm just like,
he said, if you don't say goodbye, then you'll cross paths again, and that'll be a hello.
Well, yeah. So that's the best anime.
This is the best anime, you guys. I really do think, like, I truly believe that this anime deserves to be number one of all time.
Yeah.
And I'm not being hyperbolic. It's so good.
No, I'm not even saying it's like my favorite of all time. But like categorically, I think it's one of the best, if not the best.
I would definitely say I don't know. I think I'd have to sit down and think about whether it's my favorite anime of all time or not. But I definitely think that it's in my top 5. If it's not my favorite.
I mean, it's in my top. Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
Come on.
Be realistic. Come on.
But we need season 2 announced already.
Oh my God.
Where is it?
Why is it not announced? There's no way they don't, right? Like,
I don't know. I just saw that the manga is going on hiatus again.
Yeah, I think really, I think that's why it hasn't been announced yet, is because I don't think that the manga has enough for another season.
So
please listen. Through the interwaves, somehow I'm sending messages to you guys. Please do not make a Frieren movie. Just animate it in episodes. Please. I'm begging you.
Although if you make a Frieren movie, I'll go see it day one.
Please do not do a movie. I would watch it, but please don't. Please don't.
I agree.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be so mad if they do.
But yeah, that's the spoiler cast. It's fantastic.
It is. It was a spoiler cast, and yeah, now we have to decide on topic of the show for next week. We'll figure it out. One thing, you guys, if you made it this far, I do want to mention, just because I think it's fun, and I think Kyle probably likes it as well. If you ever need anime recommendations, you don't want to join the Discord, but you're like, hey, I need a recommendation. You can give us a genre. You can give us another anime that you like, and we'll find something. So I thought that would be fun as well. So if you have anything, feel free to send us a message, leave a comment on the YouTube video or on the podcast or whatever. Let us know. And we will do recommendations for you, because we've watched. I looked at my anime list. I don't think it's 100% accurate, because there's stuff that I don't add, like movies and stuff sometimes. But it says I'm at like 112 days right now. So I watched a lot of anime.
I thought you were gonna give the total number of anime you watched.
No, because that's really hard to quantify.
Nah. I got mine.
I do not do well keeping track of, like, because like I haven't, like, I don't even think like any. I may have like 2 or 3 of the Ghibli films there, but I definitely don't have all of them. I definitely have not put how many times I've watched all of them, because that's impossible to count. It's not accurate, but probably I know it's for sure over 112 days. So all I'm
currently sitting.
I can help.
I'm currently sitting at 176 days.
There you go. So between the two of us, we watched a lot of anime. So if you want to get a recommendation, we got the expertise. However, if you are asking for mecha recommendations, I will tell you right now, the only thing I'm going to recommend is Darling in the Franxx, because I don't like mechas.
I'm going to recommend Gundam.
I mean, I can recommend, like, watch Gurren Lagann, but I'm assuming you've already watched that if you like mecha.
I'm just going to list every Gundam for the last, like, 20 years. That's what you're going to get. But if you've made it this far, also, who's your favorite Frieren character?
Who is your favorite Frieren character? Let's fight about it, because there's only a couple right answers.
Frieren.
I mean, I would accept, like, Fern and Stark. You know?
Yeah,
it's like
I would accept any of them. I think
my favorite character is Himo.
But
Himo or Stark is my favorite character.
I think that's on brand. I like Frieren, you like Himo.
What can I say? Right. I'm on brand all the time. Okay, you guys. So thank you so much for taking time to hang out with us today. Special shout out to our current patrons. We've got Alpaca Tom, Fabulous Breanna, Breanna's mom, Breanna's brother, Lindsay, Nikolai at Night, Cypher Primus, Brendan Myers, Marcus O'Neill, Lillian, Mimi J, David Hotwright, Dave Harp, the Xbox Expansion Pass, and Lee Navarro. Thank you guys so much. Kyle, where can people find you?
Discord.
Yeah, come join the Discord. The link's always in the description, so come hang out with us. You can find me at Fabulous Breanna. That's FABULIST BREANNA. I hope you guys have a great week, and I don't know what next week's topic of the show is, but we'll figure it out. See you then. Bye.